So you want to be more sustainable and raise more of your own food, but you don't have a lot of land. Or maybe you're thinking, I don't have a barn. Or maybe you live in a neighborhood and you think, I just really don't have enough room. It would be too noisy to try to raise any kind of animals. Or you just feel very limited on space and circumstances. Well, I want to take you out into our barn, and I want to talk to you for a minute about how you can solve this food insecurity problem for yourself, and one of the major ways to start on that right now. We recently had a fall farm day here at our farm, and we had a little petting zoo, and one of the animals I knew I wanted to get that we've had before for the petting zoo is rabbits. So we got the rabbits for the petting zoo, but I've decided I want to keep them for a while. In light of, like I was saying, food insecurities, there are empty shelves all over the place at the grocery stores. And as you guys know, we raise meat. We have plenty of meat here, but it is selling like crazy. So not only are we always thinking here about raising food for our family, but about raising food for others, and in this case, teaching others to raise food for themselves. Look at this one. This is my favorite, but don't tell. But I want to encourage you guys. Some of you I know are on just, maybe you just have a small yard, you live in a subdivision, and I want to encourage you. You can totally do things on your scale, in your environment, and what you have. If you've been following us very long, you know we started out on a very small homestead here, just our yard, and then we ventured off and bought a herd of cows, but we did not start there. We started very small and we built up from there. And even if you start small and you stay small, you can do things to provide for yourself and your family. There are a lot of folks that are stopping raising meat chickens because there's a few things with meat chickens. You either have to try to hatch them yourself, which is doable, but it can be difficult and come with its own challenges, or you have to depend on hatcheries to continue buying them. Once you invest in rabbits, your initial investment, you are gonna have rabbits unless something is wrong. We're having a cat fight. What? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? It never fails. I try to film and all the animals want to be on camera. But like I was saying, you're gonna have rabbits. After your initial investment, you are going to have babies unless you're doing something wrong in your breeding or you've selected the wrong rabbit for your climate, which brings me to another point. These are called Tamak rabbits, T-A-M-U-K, which simply stands for Texas A&M University in Kingsville. And that's who developed this breed. If they have a rabbit program there, they came up with these. These rabbits are heat tolerant. Most rabbits, it doesn't matter where you live, they are cold tolerant. That means they can take the cold. Now, you do have to make sure they have some liquid water in the winter. If everything's freezing, you have to go out a couple times a day and give them some fresh, warm water. But they don't handle the heat well. When it gets about 85 degrees Fahrenheit and above, rabbits can start dying fairly easily. And these are bred to be more heat tolerant because we are in the South, we are in the heat. It's very hot, it's very hard on them in the summer. But even if your rabbits don't die in the heat, even if your rabbits are hardy in the heat, they a lot of times will go sterile and you cannot have kits or baby bunnies. So if you're raising rabbits for meat, that is just a whole season of the year that you aren't having any babies. But that is one thing these Tamak rabbits were bred for, is heat tolerancy. So one thing you need to know is your climate and what rabbits will do good in your area. These will do good all over the South. We bought these locally. We're in Arkansas, we're not in Texas, but people are having great success around us raising this breed. These Tamak rabbits also are great for fertility, and not only fertility, meaning they can get pregnant, they have great birth rates, successful birthings, and they have large litters. So that's really good when you're raising meat. The more, the better that they have. If they have small litters, 2 times in a row, you can give them 1 grace period the first time they have kits. But if they do that again, say 4 or 5 or less, you probably need to cull that if you're trying to have a successful rabbitry and you're trying to raise meat. You need to be feeding females that are going to be providing you meat. So we have 3 females and 2 males. So we are planning to do some breeding, have some babies, and not to mention the gold they provide in manure, because that is a cold fertilizer, a cold manure. It can go directly on your plants. You do not have to age it. It is like gold for your garden. We do plan at some point to have these out on grass, to have movable little rabbit tractors that they can go on. Right now they are in our barn. Our weather is taking a turn for the year. And we just wanted them to have a bit of protection, even though it probably wouldn't affect them at all. They're new to our farm. The weather is turning cold, and we're about to get a big front coming in with lots of rain. And we just wanted to give them a good, healthy start here in our farm after being transported here. So if you live in a neighborhood, another thing I want to touch on is that rabbits are very, very quiet. They don't smell. Their manure doesn't hardly smell at all, and they don't make a lot of noise. You saw the turkey gobbling. Turkeys are very loud, and then chickens can be very loud as well. You may live in a town that does not allow roosters, but will allow you to have hens. But just like you saw that group of chickens, those are supposed to be in our big flock, but they absolutely will not stay in. They never have. That group has got out and roamed around. We have friends in neighborhoods that have hens. Hens can be noisy too, and sometimes if they absolutely won't stay in, then you've got hens roaming the neighborhood. That can be not such a good thing, because not everyone's a fan of chickens, especially when they're getting out and coming in their yard, scaring their kids, or pooping on their porch, or what have you. But rabbits are just not like that. Rabbits are very easy keepers. You can put them in fairly small cages. They don't need a ton of room. Like I said, we will be getting ours out on grass, and you could do that in your yard. But you don't have to have acres and acres of land for a super efficient meat production. One last thing about rabbits is they're fairly inexpensive. They don't eat a ton like a Cornish cross meat chicken. I've been reading and studying up on it, and you could raise them and easily have about $1 in each rabbit in feed costs. Now, they will eat like scraps from your sheep and goats' hay, or you can give them their own hay. You can give them forage and things from your yard. You can let them forage on things if they're in a tractor, but they're very inexpensive and very quick to raise. So my message to you, as all this food insecurity is going on, I go to the store as well. We don't raise everything that we eat. We have toiletry items, we have grocery items and different things that we go and buy regularly. I've seen the empty shelves. I know it's scary. I know none of us know what's coming or what's up ahead with supply and demand issues. A couple times here on our channel, when we first got the big herd of cows, we were overwhelmed and we were just joking around, and on our channel, I know we said it a couple times, we would say go big or go home. And then I saw on a Facebook group, it was not our group, but I just saw someone kind of making fun of that statement, and I felt like it was directed towards me. And maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. I didn't lose a wink of sleep over it, but it did make me stop and think that if I've ever projected that message to y'all, I've tried to convey the message of bloom where you're planted. Do what you can where you are with what you have. But if I've ever projected the message that it's go big or go home, I'm sorry. That is totally misunderstood, because that has not been a nice take towards you guys at all. Some of you guys that are doing what you can in a tiny space are some of the most inspirational to us. So I just want to say good job and thank you. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for sharing it with us. So I want to encourage you today, go to our Facebook group, VW Family Farm and Friends. Post what you're doing. I want to see it. I don't care how big or how small the space is. If you're doing it on a big scale, good job. That takes a lot. I know it does. If you're doing it on a small scale, that's no less important, and I want to commend you and tell you good job as well. So go over there, post some pictures, and just know there's things you can do in your space, and I encourage you to start doing them. Now's the time. I don't feel like we're in a crisis, but I don't think a crisis could be too far away. And I don't say that to incite fear. I say that to incite preparedness, and to take the time now and get prepared that if you need to provide some things for yourself, you're ready. Or if you can't, make friends with your local farmer, because there's farmers all around you if you just look. Thanks for watching. You'll be seeing more on these rabbits. I have high hopes for them. I'm gonna stick with them for a bit and just see where it goes. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and God bless.